Did you see the video of Persol getting taken to the ambulance?
Yeah, that guy's gonna win the MVP.
He
walked.
He walked to the ambulance covering up his
With a
chest.
chest wound.
It's incredible.
He is a Florida Gator. He's probably been shot before. Let's be honest.
It's true.
What is up, everybody? Welcome back for another episode of the Ride the Pine podcast. I am Sean Sproat. Joining me, as always, Kenny Hutton and Adam Freeman. Fellas, how is it going? Welcome to episode 53.
I'm impressed.
Going pretty well.
How many episodes we're at?
We're getting there, man. We're chugging along. I mean, we've been doing this for what, a year and however many months or so. So almost coming up on 2 years. 53 doesn't feel like that much, I guess, when you put in that, but not bad.
We'll break 100 sometime next year.
Yeah, we'll get there.
I think we started with what the first Super Bowl, right? The Chiefs won, so this is back-to-back years. So
yeah, I think so.
Yeah, roughly.
Are we
year and a half?
Are we the Chiefs golden talisman that they don't know about? Is
I
that
think
us?
we are.
We might be.
Let's claim it before anybody else does.
Yeah, for sure. Let's jump in it. Pre-game tailgate.
I am related
Adam.
to a Chiefs player, apparently.
You are? Who?
Are you stupid or something?
I'm as stupid as a stupid does.
Jason Kelsey.
Oh, Travis.
You guys
Kelce?
have only been giving me shit about it for, years.
I thought this was
I'm
new
just mad you
information.
didn't ask me to be in the Buffalo Wild Wings commercial. I could have sat next to you and ate wings.
You know what? I might keep that long pause in there because you both stared at me like I was a fucking idiot, and I think I deserve that. So I'm keeping that in. Pre-game tailgate. Adam, start us off.
Pre-game in. Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
I think for me, real quick, I don't want to say the coolest thing. I think the craziest thing, whether or not this is true or not, that apparently Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift have an end date in their contract that is supposed to be here in a couple weeks. Apparently it's already a day that I don't know if it was Kelce's PR team put out. I'm not really sure. It's not the best thing I've seen, but I thought it was pretty crazy.
Hold on. I'm not.
You didn't hear about this?
No, I'm clearly on a completely different algorithm.
You see, what happened was I accidentally clicked into.
Oh, I'm on the same one as he is.
Yeah, I clicked into a flat Earth conspiracy theory, so now I get every conspiracy theory.
So what is this? Is it saying that they have a breakup date?
Apparently, there is a media. I don't know if it's like a rundown of answers and how the whole thing gets handled and all this stuff. But it says, here's what we're gonna go through. Here is the final breakup date, and it's September 28th. And everybody's going crazy about it. That it all was a scam. That it all was set up.
Okay.
Listen, as Abraham Lincoln once said, don't believe everything you read on the internet.
Well, I know that.
Famously.
Like I said, I started out with flat Earth, and then I got there.
I mean, I guess it would make sense.
I'm really questioning our friendship at this point.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't a belief. Again, you follow one thing, you click one thing on Twitter's For You now, and it absolutely spirals downward. It was about this guy that was talking about, he was a former F-18 pilot, and he was flying at Mach 1, I think is what he said. And he goes, if there's a curvature of the Earth, as you go a mile, you drop 8 inches. He goes, so I flew 80 miles in a straight line at whatever altitude, 100 feet. And he goes, if I flew at 100 feet and held that line and just pointed to the horizon, eventually it would start getting bigger. And he goes, it never got bigger, which then made me realize this guy's an idiot because he kept it at 100 feet.
Correct. Correct.
And I'm like, man, I'm smarter than an F-18 pilot.
Yeah, this man is flying a plane, a jet.
Right. It was a rough day. Kenny, go to
you. Usually this is a good thing we see this week. Unfortunately, the hockey world lost Johnny Gaudreau. And one thing I want to put out there, well, there's two things really. In the age of Uber, we have no excuse for drunk driving. We really, truly don't. A 43-year-old man will probably go to jail for at least 20 years because he decided he was going to have 6 beers at 6 o'clock on like a Tuesday. But I would also say that while most people in the sports world will remember Johnny and say positive things about him, we can't forget that they also lost their brother, Matthew Gaudreau, who was still fighting to get to the NHL. I don't know if he had a wife and kids. Obviously, Johnny did. He had 2 young kids who are under the age of 4. And just be smart. Unfortunately, 2 little girls will never get to know their father because one man made a dumb, irrational decision in a day where it doesn't need to be made.
That the hockey world is definitely in mourning and probably will be for some time. I'm hoping that I know it's kind of like in the off season, but I'm hoping the NHL does something on like an annual basis for him and for his brother. I think that they will. Man, what a crap story.
Yeah, and unfortunately for us, we know the Blue Jackets assistant GM right now. Haven't heard anything about like how he's feeling. I can't imagine what the Blue Jackets organization is going through, what anybody who supports that team. Just know we're all Cardinal fans, and we had Josh Hancock. What happened with him was dumb. Oscar Tavares, again, what was dumb. And then just like Darryl Kyle having a heart condition and dying. So I feel for those fans right now. I feel for everybody involved, especially the Gaudreau family, excuse me.
Yeah.
I don't think it doesn't matter to me anymore who the player is or really who the person is, especially in the sports world. Like, there's so many things that you're not connected to them, but you are. It doesn't matter what team they play for. It doesn't matter what city they live in. He's in Ohio. We all make fun of how much Ohio sucks. He was in New Jersey this time, but New Jersey's not far behind. I think that Kenny nails it. In this day and age, if you don't realize there's so many other ways for you to get home, you are the problem. And this guy deserves it. The airing of his, I don't know what it was, arraignment or whatever it was with his judge and lawyer, where he found out he was going to have to be in jail until technically tomorrow, Thursday, and that happened on Friday. And his reaction, he doesn't deserve to leave. For what he did, he's going to spend a long time in jail, and he deserves every bit of it.
20 years is not enough, and unfortunately that's probably the max what he will probably get, but it's not enough. And like we constantly say, like, from an athlete's perspective, like, don't drink and drive. There's no reason for you to even drive at all. Like, have a driver. You're a friggin' multi-millionaire. And now we're to the point where like these guys can't even go out on a bicycle ride with their sibling, with their brother, without having to face something like this. It's sad. It's really sad.
The scary thing is it not just because it happened to a hockey player doesn't change the fact that it could happen to him.
Correct. It's just the fact it's just going to be more high profile.
And I think what's crazy is, and Kenny, you might feel the same way. And Sean, you're getting up there in the years too.
I'm not that far behind you.
I know. But the older you get, the quicker you realize, like, things happen. Things happen close to home, and you're like, shit, that could have been me. At any point. Somebody makes a bad, terrible, terrible decision. And granted, we have all been there. We've all made terrible decisions. But you're only as good as your next decision. And your next decision could be terrible.
And just the act of driving nowadays is an act of distraction. You're so distracted behind the wheel now, and just to add alcohol on top of that is just so freaking dumb. It's just dumb. Anyway, yeah. Let's move on. Best thing that I saw this week, a little bit on a happier note. St. Louis City SC won a damn soccer game.
A real soccer game.
Finally. It has been, I mean, not counting the Leagues Cup, it has been months. They have 5 wins on the year. We're in week 30, match day 30. I had to highlight that because they beat the best team in the Western Conference. And I know we're all fans of St. Louis City. Some of our listeners probably aren't, but that felt good. I look good to the future. I don't think we're making the playoffs, but good view for next year, and I'm excited about next year.
This is what I'll say about the win is it felt like they were in control the whole game. And it felt like the City team that we were watching last year was kind of back. And I get it, they play a different style, but it was very refreshing. I didn't think Galaxy was outside the goal they scored. I don't think they really threatened like that much.
Yeah, I know this isn't like a soccer podcast, so we don't have to get like into the weeds or anything. But they played Paint Seal up at the 9 position, which is not his like natural 9. The moment they moved him to the outside was at the start of the half, and then they immediately scored. And previous iterations this year for St. Louis City, they would have crumbled right then and there. We wouldn't have made any adjustments, and we made adjustments. And we moved we switched Hartel from one side to the other to basically try and cope with the speed of Paintsel. And I don't ever remember doing that under Carnell. If we did, it didn't work. So that was really, really encouraging to see Klaus back, to see all those guys back. That was great. LA Galaxy did not have Ricky Pooch. So make of that what you will.
We had this discussion. Well, I was at the game. I had this discussion while we were there. How does he get away with his name being Pooch?
You see,
Yasiel Puig has been Puig for years.
There are other languages on the planet Earth, Adam, which we've established is a round Earth, than just English.
Unless you fly at the same elevation.
All right. So the actual title or like topics for this episode is actually a preview of college football and the NFL. And so, Adam, we've been making some picks for both. Kind of talk about what we're going to be doing with that, and then kind of jump us into. Or actually, we almost skipped your fraud alert. Do you want to start with your fraud alert?
We have our first official
My bad.
fraud warning. We have a legit fraud on our hands right now. Florida State in week 1, they were upgraded to a fraud alert or fraud watch. I'm sorry. They had all the makings of being a fraud after losing to Georgia Tech handily. You probably could have put them a warning right there. Let's face it. But then again, they're the lone game playing in the spotlight on Monday night on Labor Day at home at Doak Campbell, which was really weird to see under renovation and see half of that stadium not have fans in it, which was weird. And they blew it to Boston College, who I'm not going to lie, their quarterback played a really good game, and their offense is dangerous the way that they operate. But we do have a fraud warning. Florida State is our first official fraud warning. They are 0-2. They're a team that was destined to make the playoffs, at least make the playoffs, if not win the ACC. And they ain't. They're 0-2 in the ACC. I don't care what any other team is. They're not beating Miami, and their season's done. Let's just face it. And honestly, Norvell probably needs to be fired for putting all of his NIL money into DJ. You're going to need a new job.
So Florida State is just the 3rd team since 1989 when the rankings expanded to 25 that have started preseason top 10 and dropped out completely of the rankings.
Wow.
Notre Dame was one of them.
They're just the 3rd team. The article doesn't actually say, so I'm going to try to find that information because I find that fascinating. They estimate Florida State's NIL budget this year alone to be $12 million.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Dang.
Yeah.
So you paid $12 million for 2 losses. And I am willing to forgive the Georgia Tech loss. I really, truly am. You want to talk about layovers and, time adjustment. Sure, whatever, fine. If you're a Florida State fan, I'll listen to you. No excuse to lose to Boston College. This team is done, and there is no way I see the ACC getting more than one team in the college football playoff. Clemson is not any good. Georgia Tech will not be there. Virginia Tech, which was supposed to compete, just lost to Vanderbilt.
Yeah.
Another podcast I listened to, that SEC podcast, we're still trying to find the 5 wins, or the 2 extra SEC wins that Vanderbilt would need to make a bowl game.
Mm-hmm.
And you had somebody who was going to be a contender and compete in the ACC lose to Vanderbilt. So the ACC is done. Miami will be probably the number 4 seed, I would imagine, at this point.
Yeah, most likely.
I don't see it for the ACC. This wrecked the conference's year, and only good things happen to schools that sue their conference that they're currently in.
So true.
So really quickly, because this is my only point of reference for this, is in college football 25. Every single dynasty that I have done, Boston College makes the playoff.
They do.
They're really good in that game. And then
Yeah,
that
their
happened.
quarterback does it.
That happened, and I'm in a group message with some friends that were in like an online dynasty and they were like, "Wait a second, is this legit? Did this actually happen?" Anyway.
Yeah. The other thing that we're doing with college football is we are doing a pick 'em. We posted on there. We're gonna do 4 picks. I'm gonna try to keep it to an 11 o'clock game, an afternoon game, either the 2:30 game or the 3 o'clock game, and then the two hopefully primetime night games. Now it does get a little thin. Last week we had Clemson at Georgia. It was a neutral site technically, but it was in Atlanta, so we know that's not a neutral site.
Atlanta is not a neutral site for Georgia.
No,
definitely
not at all. It was just didn't have the logo of all Georgia. Georgia was the favorite, 11.5 points. They did win. They did cover. Kenny and I both had that. Sean forgot that the game was in Atlanta and picked Clemson.
I did. Yep.
That
I
sucked.
wasn't paying attention for some reason. In my head, I was thinking soccer whenever the home team was listed first, and I messed that up. So
It specifically says Clemson at Georgia.
yeah, I glossed right over that.
Yep. The second game we picked was number 19 Miami, 2.5 point favorite at Florida, and they manhandled Florida. That's another team that is going to be looking for a new head coach here very soon. We all picked Miami. I did think that was going to be our kiss of death, that all of us picked Miami and Florida was going to cover. The third game was Notre Dame at A&M, which was kind of a stinker of a game. It was kind of laid back, very defensive struggle. A&M is terrible. I don't know what people see that had them ranked at 20 and favored by 3 points. Notre Dame got that one. Yours truly got that. Nobody else did. And then the Sunday night game, which technically is primetime, even though it probably would have been played normally on Saturday night, the later of the Saturday night games, 23 USC at 13 LSU. LSU was favored by 4, and the game was in Vegas. Who'd you guys pick?
LSU, I think.
LSU, Kenny? You picked LSU.
I don't remember who I picked. So I probably picked LSU.
I picked USC. That is 4-0 for yours truly.
Wow.
Yeah. Ride the hot hand, guys. Ride the hot hand. We're going to do it again this week. No, that's if you ride the hot guy, Kenny, not ride the hot hand. We're going to do it again this week. Picks real quick. You can adjust it. I will post the official lines later tomorrow. Right now, first game, 11 o'clock game. I don't know why this game is the big noon. This needs to be a night game for sure. Number 3, Texas at number 10, Michigan. Texas is favored by 7.5. Quick thoughts.
Really quickly before we actually dive into that. So we're gonna do this cumulative through the season, right? Are we going to include our NFL picks all into one pick'em?
We're gonna do that totally separate.
Totally separate. Okay. We need to think of a punishment and like a championship or something for this.
I'm winning, punish away.
Fantastic. All right. Now we can go into it. So number 3, Texas at number 10, Michigan. Kenny, you want to start off?
Yeah, Michigan looked like hot dog water on Saturday, and Texas looked like a contender. I take Texas minus 7.5, and I would take Texas up to 13.5 this game.
Yeah, I think I agree. It's going to be interesting. It is the noon o'clock game. It is in Ann Arbor. You got 105,000 people. That team does not look good, though. I think I'm taking Texas as well on that one.
I'm thinking in the big house. I actually got it right this time. I'm paying attention to where the game actually is. I'm thinking in the big house. I do think Michigan win. I think Michigan wins, but I'm taking Michigan. Yeah, I'm going to go Michigan on that.
I mean, to cover 7.5 points, though, I mean, that's not a bad pick.
Yeah.
Another game, which I believe is a 2:30 game, and this one is going to be absolute torture. Iowa State is playing at number 21, Iowa. Iowa is a 2.5 point favorite at home.
I'll take Iowa at home.
Iowa.
I think I'm going Iowa State. The only reason is Kirk Ferentz is back on the sidelines, and that means that Iowa's not going to put up points. So I'm probably going Iowa State plus 2.5 on that.
Okay.
Late game or later game, evening game. Tennessee on the road. Actually, I believe it's neutral site. It's the Mayo Bowl. Is that in Charlotte then?
So yeah, it's in Bank of America Stadium in Charlotte. So that's basically that's basically a home game for NC State.
Call it a home game for NC State. Tennessee is favored by 8 currently.
Who wants to start us?
I'll go. I'm going Tennessee.
I am also going Tennessee.
I too take Tennessee minus 8. Josh Heupel is going to run the score up.
Yeah, I think so too. Especially because it's a big time game.
With Tennessee being a team that could be borderline, they're going to need to boat race a couple teams, and Heupel has no problem doing that.
No, for sure.
Really quickly before we move on to the next one, maybe you can learn me here a little bit. You can educate me. This is a regular season game, right? Right. Why is it the Duke Mayo Classic? Are we naming regular season games after corporations now also? Is this a thing?
I think traditionally they name a lot of the first games of the week, and I don't know if there was a scheduling conflict or something with this one, but usually they do play like a Duke's Mayonnaise game the first week of the year. So I don't know why they didn't and why they're doing it week 2.
Yeah, because usually they do the North Carolina game, they do the Atlanta game, and then usually there's one in Dallas. But I wonder if Dallas got taken over by Vegas.
I'm sure someone in Carolina will correct me and yell at me that it's some tradition, but it's dumb. Anyway, moving on.
And then the other one that we have our eyes on a little bit locally because of the home team, Colorado at Nebraska. Everybody's going to be watching to see what Colorado does. Nebraska is currently favored by 7.5. I will go first. I'm taking Nebraska.
Kenny?
I take Colorado to cover the 7.5 points. I don't think they win. Yeah, I don't think they win, but I do think they cover that score.
I'm really struggling with this one. I will take Colorado to also cover. I'll be honest, I don't feel good about it.
It's 7.5 is a tough one. It's a night game at Nebraska. That was the one that swayed me.
Yeah.
I see it being a really close game until late. And again, Nebraska at home at night is going to be tough.
7.5 is such a tricky line for me.
It is. It really is.
All right, I'm gonna stand pat on that, but I don't feel good.
It happens. All right, so let's go to the NFL. Let's do our postseason picks and thoughts.
Okay, how do you want to do this? I think we should definitely go by division. Do you want to start AFC or NFC?
Let's start AFC East.
Okay, AFC East.
We'll
Who
run
wants to
through
lead
AFC
us off?
and we'll go to the NFC.
Okay.
All right, so I'll go first. AFC East, we've got the Jets, Dolphins, Patriots, and Bills. I think my division winner is going to be – I'm going to go out and say it's going to be the Jets.
Wrong.
Wow.
I'm
Okay.
just saying. That's my division winner is the Jets.
Wrong. Dolphins win the East. Let's go.
I'm also going Dolphins. Yeah, I think Jets finish third in that division.
Okay. So let's go AFC North. We'll do the divisions and then we'll do our wild cards.
Okay.
AFC North. Kenny?
Ravens.
Ravens.
Yep.
Man, I really wanted to go Bengals. Like, I really wanted to. Chase isn't playing week 1, at least as of right now, and you got to win you got to win every game. I have same concerns as the Cowboys with CeeDee Lamb. He's going to pull a hamstring. I got Ravens winning the AFC North.
Okay. AFC South. I'm taking Texans.
Texans.
I've got the Texans as well. I do think Indianapolis makes a run. Hint, hint, wink, wink. AFC West, is this a no-brainer? We're all Chiefs.
It's
The
Chiefs,
Chefs.
The Chefs.
yeah.
All right, so then we get, it's 3 wild cards, correct?
Correct.
All right. My 3 wild cards are the Dolphins, the Bengals, and the Colts.
Mm.
And
I like it.
That order, 5, 6, 7.
I don't feel good about it. I'm going Bills. That's the one I don't feel good about.
Okay.
Bengals and Browns. Triple B.
Wow. Okay. Okay. I'm going to Bills. Browns. I think I'm going to make the same damn mistake I made last year. Jaguars.
Oh.
It's not crazy.
Yes, it is.
Kind of is.
I think I just made the exact same damn mistake that I did last year.
All right, so AFC Championship game. Who do you guys have in it and winning it?
AFC Championship game. I think I am going Chiefs. I mean, the easy and obvious pick is Chiefs Ravens. I think I'm going to go Chiefs Dolphins.
Ooh.
God damn it. Me and Sean got the
I too am going to go Chiefs. My other team is not the Dolphins.
Okay.
It's also not the Ravens.
Ooh.
He said it last week. It's the Texans.
It's the Texans.
You did. That's right. Right.
All right, and then my AFC champ is going to be the Chiefs.
Yeah, I think the Chiefs are. I don't want to say they're going to get 3 in a row, but I think they're going to get a shot at it, which means they're going to be playing in the Super Bowl. So
at this point, picking anybody else to represent the AFC in the Super Bowl just seems idiotic to me. Until proven otherwise, it's the Chiefs, right? So I'm going Chiefs.
All right, so let's jump to the NFC East. Eagles, Giants, Commanders, Cowboys. My winner of the NFC East, and I'm going to put the jinx on you right now, Sean, is going to be the Eagles.
Okay.
I too take the Eagles.
Well, shit, because I'm also taking the Eagles, which means they're finishing in last place. Fantastic.
Right. Commanders will
No,
win.
it doesn't.
Great.
The Giants are still in that division.
True. NFC North. I feel like we're all probably going the same way on this one, which is so crazy considering the team that we're about to say, but the Lions is who I'm going with.
Yep.
I do have the Lions, although, hint, hint, wink, wink, I think the Bears make a run on that one.
So I've got Bears finishing actually in third in that division. I think the Packers make it close for the Lions.
Okay. NFC South, Buccaneers, Saints, Falcons, Panthers.
I like how you reminded me who was actually playing in the South because that division.
Yeah,
always
I have to look every now and then.
The only thing I know for a fact is that it's not going to be the Panthers.
I'm going to
Thanks,
go
Mark Mayock.
Yeah, I got Buccaneers on that one.
Okay.
I took the Saints.
I took the Saints too.
Jesus Christ.
What is going on?
All right, in the NFC West, Rams, Seahawks, Niners, Cardinals.
49ers.
Niners as well. All right, wild card teams. My 3 in order, I believe, are going to be the Bears. I believe will be 5.
Wow. Okay.
Not that it matters. I think the Falcons are 6.
Okay.
And you guys are really going to say,
Okay.
wow, on this one. I'm going out on a limb partially because I have no idea really what's going to happen in the NFC West besides the Niners winning. I think the Cardinals are that last wild card team.
Did you do drugs before you came on here?
I did.
So
I did.
that makes my Jaguars pick not look so batshit crazy. Thank you for that. I appreciate it.
I have.
You have done drugs. Thank you for admitting it.
I have done drugs. Yes. I have this theory that the second year of teams that have offenses trend well. We've seen it in the past. The Lions did it last year. You've got the Texans this year. I think you have the Colts this year. And you have Kyler Murray and Marvin Harrison Jr. Let's see what happens. It's the NFC West. Let's see what happens.
Okay.
Taking a shot.
Sean, you want to go or you want me to go?
I mean, I could go. I could go. Okay, so I've got the Packers as the 5th seed. I've got the Cowboys as the 6th.
If you say this team, I'm going to be so pissed.
And I think there's always one team that makes a big jump. I think I want to actually say 3 teams come out of the NFC East. I want to say the Commanders, but I'm not gonna do that because I think that would
You're
be
on drugs
psychotic.
too.
Correct. So I think I'm going Saints as that final pick. I had picked them to win the division. I'm sorry. I wrote that down wrong. I had to pick them to win the division
twice. They're gonna be that good.
Yeah, my bad. I'm sorry, guys. So I think I would go Falcons then. My bad. I wrote it down wrong.
All right. I picked the Packers. I did pick the Cowboys. And I'm picking the Los Angeles Rams of St. Louis.
That's not a bad pick.
No, we can't call them the LA Rams of St. Louis anymore because the turf is finally gone that they played on.
Yes, that is true. The Battlehawks did get a new turf, and it looks beautiful.
Yeah, that's not a bad pick. I kind of forget that the Rams did win 10 games last year.
I mean, did they make the playoffs last year?
They did.
I can't remember.
They did.
I mean, the offense is extremely high-powered, right? Cooper Kupp is going to do Cooper Kupp things. Puka Nacua was the breakout star of the NFL last year, and then only outshined the second breakout star in Kyron Williams. They're going to put a lot of points on the board, which means you have the opportunity to win games. So then, obviously, they get Blake Corum. I'm not sold on what his position is, what his role is actually going to be on the team. They're talking about, Williams is going to return punts. Corum's going to return punts. Corum's the 3rd running back. He's the 2nd running back. They're going to have a good problem, right? They're going to have too many weapons.
Yeah.
Let's see it.
Who's representing the NFC in the conference game?
ultimately, I think it comes down to a rematch of last year. I think you're going to see the 49ers play the Lions again. I am going to change my pick, though, because last week I believe I mentioned that we were in the running for a repeat Super Bowl. I do think you're going to see the Lions get there.
Yep. Copy and paste.
Okay. I think the 49ers are probably the top seed in the NFC. I don't think that they make it to the NFC Championship game.
Ooh.
Or either they're going to be the first or the second seed. I've got Lions and Packers in the NFC Championship game.
Be a hell of an NFC Championship game.
Yeah. I think I just really want to see that more. That's more of just a fan pick because I think that would be fun as hell. Okay, so you guys both have Lions then going to the Super Bowl?
Mm-hmm.
I gotta be
You're
different.
gonna go replay of Super Bowl 1, I believe, Packers and Chiefs.
I think I am. Just to be different. My fantasy team is rolling with Jordan Love. I think I have to as well. So I think I'm going Packers.
Guys, I just want to ask a really quick question that is kind of pertinent to recent events. Is it more dangerous for the Eagles and Packers in Sao Paulo, Brazil, or the Niners in San Francisco?
We were talking about this before you joined today. I don't know why the NFL decided to go to Brazil. I feel like the theme of this episode is just dumb decisions, and that is one of the most dumb decisions we could talk about today.
I don't understand how any of the media is going to be able to tweet. Like how? Why? Like it? Somebody posted it, and I can't remember.
There's a ban on Twitter, correct? That's what it is.
Yeah, full ban on Twitter. They want anybody that tweets from Brazil is supposed to be arrested.
Yeah. Funny what authoritarians do.
Right. Somebody had posted it was 4 or 5 events that had happened recently in professional sports that all were moved because of whatever the belief was, whatever was going on. And they were big events. Like one of them was a Georgia football game. There's a game, something it was weird, but the NFL stays steadfast that, you know what, we're going to play in the most dangerous city we can possibly play in. Again, who's in more danger? Because right now it might be San Francisco, but Sao Paulo is not great.
Did you see the video of Pearsall getting taken to the ambulance?
Yeah, that guy's going to win the MVP.
He
walked.
He walked to the ambulance covering up his chest.
With a chest wound.
It's incredible.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know how
he is a Florida Gator.
That's true. That's a very good point.
He is a Florida Gator. He's probably been shot before. Let's be honest.
That's true. All right, so we're going to also do the same thing with the NFL as we are with college football before this goes down a terrible rabbit hole.
I think I broke Sean.
You did. I was
Lord,
expecting some Aaron Hernandez tie-in joke. I wasn't expecting.
Nope, I'm skipping right past
it. You just imply it. You throw it out there and you let it go.
Right past.
By the way, they're doing a what is it? The American the true untold Aaron Hernandez. That actor doesn't look anything like Aaron Hernandez, and that looks like it is going to be terrible.
I haven't seen this, but I'm going to Google it right now.
I hope that Urban Meyer is the one telling the story because that'll only make it better.
Oh, man.
All right, so we're going to do the same thing with the NFL as with college football. We're going to pick primetime games, which means some weeks we're going to have 3 games. Some weeks we're going to have 6 games. The NFL runs a schedule the way that they want. Thursday, Sunday, Monday are going to be our standard 3. This week we have Thursday, Friday, Sunday, and a Monday night game. Baltimore and Kansas City kick it off Thursday night in Kansas City, in Arrowhead, celebrating the Super Bowl championship. Kansas City is the current favorite, -3. Sean.
I was Googling true untold Aaron Hernandez story. I didn't hear any of that. What am I doing?
Can you just replay that clip and then come back?
No, I cannot.
We're picking primetime NFL games Thursday night. Kansas City is hosting Baltimore. Kansas City's -3.
It's in Kansas City, right?
Yeah.
Okay, Kansas City. Give me the Chiefs.
Kenny?
Give me the Chiefs.
I have a theory on this. I am going
Chiefs.
Ravens. And the reason behind the Ravens is that when teams open a season and celebrate a championship, it is a very tough thing for them to do at home. Stanley Cup champions have the issue. World Series champions have an issue. Super Bowl champions in the past have had an issue. I think the Ravens, and this with 3 points, they're going to probably win that. I mean, maybe they lose by 1, but let's say they're going to cover 3 points. Friday night in Death Valley, Green Bay and Philadelphia play in Sao Paulo. Philadelphia is currently -2.5. I have no idea.
Yeah.
I want to say Philadelphia, but I have no idea on this one. And I guess that's why it's 2.5. The over/under is 49.5. If that helps anybody.
Give me the Packers.
I'm actually leaning towards the Packers as well. And I actually think that they do not hit the over. I'm going to say Packers.
All right, I'm going Philadelphia 2.5. Sunday night game puts some of our wild card contenders face to face. The Rams are in Detroit. Stafford's returned to Detroit, and the Stafford family is going to be staying in LA because they're fearful of what the crowd may yell at them. Detroit opens as a 3.5-point favorite.
Lions.
I'm going to go Lions as well.
What?
Lions.
Okay. And then Monday night, hopefully Aaron Rodgers does not tear his Achilles this time on the first play of the game. They play at San Francisco with bulletproof vests on. San Francisco currently is a 4.5-point favorite, although that may slow them down with the vest. The over-under definitely got slowed down, 43.5.
Wasn't it the second play of the game that he got hurt on?
Was it? Oh, I think you're right. I think the first play was a run.
Give me 49ers.
I'm at 49ers.
I wasn't paying attention. Western Kentucky football announced that their rivals Eastern Kentucky football would not change their jerseys, so their promoted whiteout game, they have to wear their red jerseys now.
Yeah.
Wow. That's a whole nother level of petty.
Yeah.
I'm here
It's
for it.
great. College football.
49ers are playing.
They play the
49ers
Jets.
are playing who and how much?
The Jets, and they're a 4.5-point favorite. 49ers are.
Oh yeah, I'll take that line. You could bump that up to 9.5 for me for the 49ers.
I just think it's funny that they're starting to get their players back. They got Ayuk, they got Trent Williams, and what's his name? The defensive lineman. God, I can't think what the hell his name is. The guy that they literally, Hassan Reddick, they literally traded for him thinking that he would agree to a new deal and restructure his current deal. And he said, nope, I'm going to hold out and not play. So that's funny. That's a Jets thing to do.
Of our NFL picks for this week, we only have one differing pick between the three of us.
NFL is going to be a tough one.
Yeah.
Because their spreads are not very wide. I think the biggest spread right now is currently 8.5, and that's the Bengals over the Patriots.
It's also just because it's literally the start of the season. It's so early that they haven't established those lines yet.
Yeah.
I have an idea, a way we can avoid those situations, and we'll talk offline about it.
Oh, you don't want to share now?
I was just gonna say we can each pick a random game, like hey, Sunday noon o'clock games, you got to pick one, and same kind of thing with same thing with like college football. I know that would put college football at 5, or we can do 3 and then pick one, whatever the marquee matchup is at 11 midday and evening for college football, and then we got to pick one.
It's all right, Kenny. Change the rules because you're losing. It is what it is.
I mean, that's basically how they do it on like NFL Today and like Fox, right? Don't they all pick 3 or 4 same matchups and they each have their own like wild card matchup?
Yeah.
It's fine. It's only a matter of time before I win another contest over on this show. So
only a matter of time before I lose another contest on this show.
Yeah. Hey, I'm gonna treat this like outrunning a bear. I don't have to actually be faster than you. I just got to be better than Sean.
Which is not hard to do because I'm outrunning a bear with basically 2 broken ankles. So
perfect.
Do we have anything else for today? Is that pretty much it?
I think that wraps it up.
All right. Any plugs or anything you guys have? Any final thoughts? Like, besides obviously hit our socials, Pod Ride the Pine on pretty much everything.
I got nothing.
I said it last week. I am going to write a Substack. I also want to point out that there is a 2027 elite level wide receiver prospect who is visiting OU this weekend. His name is Booby Feaster.
I hope it's some sort of French and it's like Festier, which makes it even worse.
No, I hope it's not. I hope it's straight up Feaster.
Yeah.
I mean, what a baller.
I mean, that is straight out of Key and Peele.
It is.
That's not EA generated either. That's somebody actually picked that.
Yeah. Have you seen some of those names? I haven't come across any weird ones yet.
I've had a couple. I think still my favorite is So Chocolatey.
That's pretty good.
That was my favorite that I've gotten.
That's pretty good. All right, guys, let's get out of here. Good stuff. We'll get this up. You'll be listening on the same day that the first NFL game is live. So we made it, boys. It's football season. Congrats.
Thank God.
Love it.
Love it. All right, well, let's get out of here. Everybody enjoy the rest of your eating. Enjoy the rest of your week, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
See you guys.